sure. Like, no, here is good. It's helpful to like have the like on key voice. It's helpful to have the on key voices closer to me and loud. That's always exactly. It's always helpful, and then then I don't go. Hi. No, and you also exactly. Eh, there's no behind me. No. Uh, well, I want to wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom. It's a beautiful day, an end to a very beautiful week. And it has passed. Let us all take a deep breath in and let go of the last week and enter into Shabbat. And with our next breaths, we take the Neshama Yetera, the extra soul that, according to legend, infuses us during these hours of Shabbat. Another deep breath. And we're going to begin on page 120. And I'd like to invite Alice to join us up front.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign universe, who hallows us mitzvah, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat. Amen.
Tivanu lehadlikner shel Shabbat. Thank you. Page 127. Let's read responsively. There are days when we seek things for ourselves and measure failure by what we do not gain. There are days when we exploit nature as if it were a horn of plenty that can never be exhausted. There are days when we act as if we cared nothing for the rights of others.
On Shabbat, we remember that justice is our duty and a better world for all.
Together. So we embrace Shabbat, day of rest, day of wonder, day of peace. We skip ahead to 138, Lecha Dodi, and we're going to do just verses 1 and 9 tonight, and you can always comment on that after. I always take comments, critiques, and congratulations. Lecha Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pene Shabbat Nekabala.
Chadodim, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela.
Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad, hishmi'anu el ha'meyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shem u'tiferet l'tehila la 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 lecha dodi, likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela, lecha dodim, likrat kala. Penei Shabbat nekabela. Please Shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, tov emunei am segula, boicha lecha lecha dodi,
Likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabelha. Lecha dodi, likrat kala, Penei Shabbat nekabelha.
You may be seated. We are on page 144 with Chatzi Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba Be'alma divrach yurtei v'yamlich malchutei B'chayechon u'b'yom echon U'v'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael Ba'agala U'v'zman kariv V'yemeru Amen. Yehei shmei Rabba mevorach, le'olam u'lam me'almaya, yitbarach. Yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitpar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh, v'yitromar v'yitalel v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha brichu. Elah min kol birchata v'shirata, Tushbechata v'nechemata damiran be'alma ve'yemeru. Amen. And thank you for that save. We're going to continue with Baruch Hu. I invite you to please rise and we face the ark. Baruch Hu Adonai. You may be seated. We read together in the Hebrew on page 148, welcoming the evening, which is coming earlier and earlier every night. Together, Baruch Atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma potach she'arim, uvitvuna mishaneh itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umesader et hakochavim, b'mishmorotehem barakia kirtzono, borel yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Uma avir yom, umevi laila, uma avdil bein yom uvein laila, Adonai tzvaot shemo, el chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai hama'ari v'aravim. Page 150, in the middle. Everlasting love you offered your people Israel, by teaching us Torah and mitzvot, laws and precepts. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down and when we rise up, we will meditate on your laws and your commandments. We will rejoice in your Torah forever. Day and night we will reflect on them, for they are our life, and doing them lengthens our days. Never remove your love from us. Praise to you, Adonai, who loves your people Israel. Ta Adonai, Mo Yisrael. If it is your custom to rise for Shema, you can rise, and we sing on page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem. You may be seated. We continue on the next page with Ve'ahavta 154. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha uv'kumecha u'kshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot beinenecha uv'tavtam al mezuzot petecha uv'hisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai Vitem kedoshim leloechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem, me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem lelohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, emet. It might be the elevator bell and James. Yes. Page 157 at the bottom. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered. At Sinai, we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot O Seifele, Malchutecha, Rahuvanecha, Bokei Ayam, Lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Zeli Anu ve'ameru, Adonai Imloch, Adonai Imloch, Le'olam Vahed, V'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, Alo miyad chazak mimenu, Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Page 43, in the middle. 161. I'm getting better every week, but 161. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadow of your truth. For you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, Parei Sukkot Shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. 162 at the top. We keep Shabbat. We shomer Shabbat. We guard it because it gives us so much. I know I've talked with some of you recently about how we keep Shabbat, which is not according to rabbinic custom, with all of the 43 prohibited things, but how to make Shabbat holy, kedusha, which means separate and different. And that is how we guard Shabbat, doing something different, opening our eyes and our ears in a way that is different from the hubbub of the week, trying to find inspiration. Those of you who are at my class this week, maybe you can think about the eternal and never-ending God, Ein Sof, the one without end, and appreciate the ways that we experience that in our lives, in nature, in love, and all of the beauties that we find. Together, let's sing Vishamru. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. Beni uven b'nei Israel, oti le'olam, oti le'olam. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat, la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai, et hashamayim ve'et ha'aretz. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. Vayom hashvi'i Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. Vishamru b'nei Israel et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam b'rit olam. Page 164. Please rise as we prepare for our Amidah, if you are able. If you're not, you can rise within your heart. Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Eternal Adonai, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. may be seated. Page 171 at the top, please join me. Days pass and the years vanish, and we walk sightless among miracles. God, fill our eyes with seeing and our minds with knowing. Let there be moments when your presence, like lightning, illumines the darkness in which we walk. Help us to see wherever we gaze that the bush burns unconsumed, and we, clay touched by God, will reach out for holiness and exclaim in wonder, how filled with awe is this place, and we did not know it. Blessed is the Eternal One, the Holy God. We continue silently, each at our own pace, through 179. Ose shalom bimrama, uya se shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru amen. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. We turn to page 371 and call to mind all of those in our circle of family and friends and those we know who are ill. We think of them with care and with hope that they will return to full strength. Before we sing the Mishaberach, I invite anyone to share a name of someone who's on your mind. Betsy Hayes. Mishaberach avotenu mekor habracha v'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishaberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. For the past couple of weeks, I have been listening to an audio version of Moby Dick. I'm probably not that far along, but it'll take a while. But there's a character named Elijah. And honestly, I'm not exactly sure what's going to exactly happen with Elijah's talk, but just the presence of this character named Elijah got me to thinking about our Elijah from the Bible. Does anybody recall anything about Elijah in Jewish custom or in the biblical stories? Say again? Exactly. We let Elijah in at Passover to have a sip of wine and, and a cup, exactly. Yes, that's right. According to Jewish legend, the pauper or beggar of the Messiah. Yeah, he's like supposed to come blowing a shofar one day and lead, and the Messiah will be behind him on a mule or a donkey, entering the gates of Jerusalem and welcoming in a time of goodness, abundance, peace. Yes. So at Havdalah, we think about Elijah because any possible week could be, we hope, the week that the Messiah might come.
Isn't he the one that gets whirled away in the golden chariot and he never actually dies?
Correct. Yes, so there's this image in the Bible after, at the end of his life, he rides up into the heavens on a flaming chariot and never dies. And so that's how there got to be all of these folk tales about Elijah, like coming, and Elijah comes to our Seders. Elijah comes to a Brit Milah ceremony. We sometimes have a chair for Elijah there as well because we hope that this baby might grow up to be Elijah and bring us to that time of peace. Well, I'm going to share with you one of those stories from Jewish legend. There's a lot of really nice and good stories about Elijah, and here's one of them. Once, in the town of Pinsk, there was a couple getting married. They were both from good families, and the wedding was beautiful. The reception was under a tent, and a grand feast was served. Up walked a poor beggar, wearing frayed and tattered clothes. He was unshaven, wore no shoes, and looked decidedly unkempt. He walked over to the man who looked to be the father of the bride, and he said, "Dear sir, may I sit down and help celebrate this bride and the groom and toast to their health and joy?" Well, the father of the bride was aghast. Holding his nose, he responded, "Get away! Can't you see this is an elegant event? You did not even have the courtesy to wash your face, let alone put on your good clothes. You're not welcome to celebrate with us." And so the beggar left. A little while later, a dapper man strolled up, wearing a velvet coat over a silk shirt, fine linen pants, and a stylish hat. He walked with a gold-handled cane and wore boots that were shined to a high sheen. He approached the father of the bride, but before he could even get there, the father of the bride ran over to him. And the bride's father bowed and said, "Hello, good sir. Please join us for our wedding luncheon and come sit at my table and enjoy the honor. I'd like to introduce you to my daughter Miriam. She just married Jacob." The mother of the groom found him a spot and filled his plate for him from shiny bowls and platters, and the father of the groom filled his goblet of wine to the brim. Everyone was eating and drinking and chatting. They were enjoying the klezmer band playing. That is, until they noticed that the elegant man began pouring wine into his shirt pocket. Then he took a spoonful of mashed potatoes He put them all over his pants. And then he took the tzimis and put it up his sleeve. And finally, he stuffed a bunch of chicken into his boots, and he poured gravy all over his hat. The father of the bride exclaimed, "What on earth are you doing? What is going on here?" The elegant man asked, "Do you remember that beggar who came here earlier?" He says, "Oh, I still can smell him." "We are one and the same," said the elegant man. "I am Elijah. The honor that you have paid to me, welcoming me in, was an honor paid only to my clothes, not to me. You welcomed the clothes to your wedding feast, and so I am feeding the clothes." The end. It's a great story, great imagery, but I think it also has a wonderful message, teaching us to see beyond the outward appearance of others, to try to see into who they really are and treat everyone with dignity. May we all have the ability to see underneath the exterior, and may all of us be treated and treat others with dignity and honor. Amen. We're playing. That's a good place to be. It's nice that we still have it. We're going to continue with Aleinu on page 586 in the middle. And I invite those who are able to please rise.
משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 591.
נאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה
You may be seated. We're going to continue in a few moments with Kaddish, and that's on page 598. We're going to begin with a poem from Leslie, in memory of her father, whose yahrzeit is this week. Here. All right. Okay. Okay. Ooh, I'm way up here.
My father's been gone for years now, but I miss him still and think of him often. And my obsessive and annoying penchant for looking up every kind of information there is and sharing it with people who may or may not really want to hear about some of the quirky facts that I've assembled going through my week came directly from him. And one of the things that he had us do when we were kids was memorize classic poetry. One of his very favorites was a poem called The Cremation of Sam McGee. Not appropriate for our current setting, but I picked another classic, and oh my gosh, does it correspond to what Rabbi Val has just been talking about? It's some great singularity. So this is not a very Jewish poem, but it is a classic that reminds me of my dad, something he would have enjoyed. Ozymandias, Percy Bysshe Shelley. I met a traveler from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them and the heart that fed, and on the pedestal these words appear, my name is Ozymandias, King of Kings, look on my works, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level stands stretch far away."
I'd like to invite anybody who is remembering someone in particular to come up, and you can take a rock, a stone in memory of your loved one, and place it next to the yahrzeit candle. And if you'd like to say their name aloud, you may. For those whose custom it is to stand, to say Kaddish, for those who have no one to say it for them, and all others who stand for Kaddish, you may rise now. Page 598. Yit gadal v'yit kandash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei dechon beit Yisrael, ba'agala u'vizman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam u'la'almei almayah, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudesha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehei shlama rabbah min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'imromav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. You may be seated. I do want to just say aloud the names of those for whom we recited Kaddish, some who are here and some who are not. We remember Howard Beck, father of Leslie, Paul Grossman, father of Alice, Esther Greenberg, stepdaughter of Helene Rose, Lori Lecker, sister of Martin Lecker and sister-in-law of Terry K. Needle, Kenneth Smith, father of Barbara Hochberg, Carol Marcus, sister of Marlene Chotan, Morton Bud Weiss, spouse of Julie Weiss, Elaine Orville, mother of Barbara, We remember Isaac Hadak, Daniel J. Vallon, Ethel Dora Zeff, Miriam Friedman Barron, Lillian Nadelson, and Abraham M. Gare. May God be with all of them, and may their memories be bound up in the eternal. Amen. We have some upcoming events at the synagogue. High Holy Days are soon. Weirdly soon. Less than a month. We're less than a month away from Slichot. I've been working on we're all working on a lot of publicity and getting things ready. But in the meantime, before that happens, yes? Okay. Mm. Right. So a name and a date of death would be very helpful if it's somebody who you haven't said yahrzeit before for, or if it's someone who passed away over the last year since. Well, that will then get added to everybody's Shul Cloud account, and then she'll have that for in the future for. Right. We'll share that. That's a good idea. We'll share that in the Friday email. Yeah. Didn't think of it. Oh, there's all kinds of things. That's right. They're coming. Honors invitations are coming. Right. Yeah. Work has been, people have been really putting noses to the grindstone, getting this done. This week, also, in the meantime, we have Lisa Resnick presenting, So You Want to Make a Documentary? That's at noon on Wednesday. Next Saturday, not tomorrow, but there's a Shabbat hike at Burbank Trail in West Stockbridge. We have an amazing speaker who's going to speak Sunday, August 27th at 7:30, but get here early for the 58th.
24th.
What did I say? 27th? I'm sorry. Looking at the 7:30. So at the 24th, the Feigenbaum lecture. Marty Barron will be speaking. So make sure that you've reserved your spot and yeah.
As of today, we have almost 250 registered for that.
Great.
So,
And it's free. So.
free food.
And free food. So there's a lot going on. Tomorrow we'll be having Torah study as usual, 9:30 in the library. And we're going to close with, yes. Oh, wonderful.
So, most of you have heard about my being assigned this 1.5, and
Oh, that's amazing. That's really wonderful.
We're so excited. Yes, I will have more updates.
It's very nice that they also get to live in Berkeley. Yes.
I am so happy I got the news this week. Thank you.
Mm.
Remember when you helped me with some letters about my daughter-in-law and how long she's been a resident here in the United States? And she has been registered.
Mazel tov. Anyone else with some wonderful news? New job offers, new shoes.
Maybe old news at this point, but I'm thinking that
It is very exciting, and you're going to get there.
I will get there.
Your daughter-in-law is going to feel better, we hope, this week.
I think she's fine.
Good.
It's a schedule.
It's a schedule thing. Really, it's still less than a month. Yeah. Wow. We're going to close singing Adon Olam. And you can find those words on page 625. Do you all know the melody that goes something like this? Adon Olam
Yeah.
Asher Malach B'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'ein Nasa V'chefzo Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Ve'acharei Kichlot HaKol Levado Yimok Nora V'hu Haya V'hu Hoveh V'hu Yiyeh B'tifara V'hu Yiyeh B'tifara V'hu Echad Ve'ein Sheni Ham Shilo Le'hafira V'li Reshit V'li Tachlit V'lo Ha'oz V'ha'misra V'lo Ha'oz V'ha'misra V'hu Eli V'chai Go'ali V'tzur Chevli Ve'etzara V'hu Nisi Umanos Li Menat Kosi Ve'yom Ekra Menat Kosi Ve'yom Ekra Ve'ado Akid Ruchi Ve'et Ishan Ve'ayimra Ve'im Ruchi Geviati Adonai Li Ve'lo Ira Adonai Li Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka. May God's face be turned toward you in graciousness. Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God's presence always be with you and grant you shalom, peace and wholeness. Shabbat shalom. Please join us downstairs for Kiddush. I think we have something special tonight, maybe, soon. Maybe not tonight. We'll see. We'll go see.
That sounds mysterious.